Greetings, John here again with a quick look at Doom, running on PlayStation 4. We've been eager to talk about this one, as the goals are rather lofty at this point. Doom promises to deliver a full-on 60 frames per second experience on both consoles. But is that really what we're seeing here? And what sacrifices had to be made to get there? Well, to start with, this beta includes just 2 playable maps, one set in a fiery Foundry of sorts, and another set in, well, hell, I suppose. Straight away, controller response is crisp, and the game feels fantastic, but it's not long before we see one of the first concessions: screen tearing. Yes, Doom runs with an adaptive VSync solution which introduces torn frames whenever the renderer goes over budget. Truth be told though, the results are more pleasant than we would have expected. Sure, when alpha effects explode in your face, tearing can become quite noticeable, but the rest of the time the game actually manages to hide it pretty well, and it feels very solid. There are occasional moments where torn frames just sort of hang on screen for a while, as you can see here, but the overall experience is quite stable. The real question though is how it will hold up in the single player game, which appears to be far more complex in terms of level design and monster numbers. But at least for now, what we see in the multiplayer is quite good. There are also some nice features in the option menu. You can select from 3 motion blur presets, for instance, which increases the intensity of the effect, while it's also possible to disable chromatic aberration, something we also saw recently in The Division. Now, this new iteration of id Tech is clearly capable of delivering more advanced lighting and effects work than id Tech 5 ever could, but it would appear that certain issues inherent to that engine still remain here. Namely, we noticed the signature id Tech 5 texture pop-in, in which textures would dynamically load in and out of memory based on where the camera is pointed. In fact, texture detail on the whole seems to be rather low, with many surfaces lacking the fine details we were hoping to see. On the audio side, we also found many of the game's sound effects rather underwhelming. Things just lack the crush and depth that you'd expect from a Doom game. We're just hoping Mick Gordon's soundtrack can pick up the slack in single player. As for image quality, the results are actually quite good at this point. Using a form of temporal anti-aliasing known as TSSAA, we noted a significant reduction in shader and edge aliasing. The image is extremely stable in motion, though perhaps a touch too soft for some folks. We're really looking forward to diving deeper into the engine technology when the final game hits next month, and we're hopeful that some of these issues will improve further by release. So, what about the Xbox One and the PC then? Well, we're working on that, but thus far we haven't been able to connect to a single game on Xbox One using either of our Xbox Live supported accounts. While on the PC, the game simply crashes every single time we try to start it up. There is a known issue on the PC in which the game will crash when pressing keys during the introduction movies, but in our case, even if we waited for well over a minute, the game never actually makes it past the Bethesda logo. We'll just chalk it up to being in beta for now and perhaps test it on another PC. Anyways, that's all the time we have for the moment. If you are looking for more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, until next time, this is John signing off.